All right, moving on to some more chord changes. There's a lot of cool songs that go from A minor to D. I find that can be a really tough change because we're changing the whole shape of our hand. We got finger 1 on string 2, fret 1, finger 2's on string 4, fret 2, and finger 3's on string 3, fret 2. What I try to get most of my students to do to make this change is if you take and think about the shape of D, D major, this chord D major. We're thinking about the finger 2 here has to come right to the bottom from this 4th string. And finger 3 has to get over to string 2 on the 3rd fret. So we got this kind of motion here where we got to totally change into a diagonal shape versus one finger over the other shape. That can be tricky, so I get my students first to work these two guys. Let's try to make them land. I teach them for a bit. And the cool thing is trying to do things like a count. First, try to get the exercise going so your hand can learn what you want it to do, which takes a bit of time, bit of practice, repetition. It's always repetition. Always keep your hand forward. Look, you can see I can get a pen or a pencil through here. My knuckles are relatively straight. We don't want to bring our hand back this way, then I end up hitting the bottom string here because this finger's leaning on it. Just that much, see? Hardly any move and bam, it's gone. So it's really important to learn this technique. Your hand is so important when we're doing chords. Don't just do anything and see somebody showing you chords. If they haven't given you any ideas on how to work your dexterity in your hand, it's probably going to take you a long time. Been teaching since 1997 privately and have come up with all these exercises, and that's why I'm spending my time now putting them on video and putting them out to others. So yeah, this is a great exercise where we're just lifting and placing these two down. And then trying to bring them back to strings 4 and 3 and finger 1, landing with them on 2. Make sure finger 1 comes off while you do this, and maybe get it close by string 3 while you're working it for a bit. And then back up, all fingers down. Always remember to land together. At first you might be doing a lot of this, but if you're consciously thinking about it, oh man, I got to make sure that these fingers are landing together, your fingers will slowly do it. But if nobody tells you that and you're just practicing and doing this all the time, what happens is you end up strumming, and before this, now you're on the chord. Well, if that was recorded through a microphone that's worth like $3 grand, you're going to hear every little mistake. Whereas kind of just doing it this way, we don't really hear a ton of mistakes. But that's a great way of working this shape from A minor to D. Once you get those two guys working, look, we've only been at it for maybe 4 minutes, right? And you can already see that your fingers are probably, oh, they're starting to get it. Maybe your fingertips are a little sore. That's why I'm using an electric today to teach everybody that electrics are a little more user-friendly when you first start playing, to build these calluses up. That dent there that you see, that line, is because my callus is so thick on my fingertip, it's pushing the hard skin that far in onto my fingertip. So work lots with your hands. Once you get calluses, then your notes sound a lot clearer, so you don't start hearing things like this all the time. Why isn't that working? A lot of times it's not working because the string's sitting in between your finger and you have no callus yet, so it's making it sound like it's dead because the skin of your finger is muting it out. So the more you practice and you get calluses, then all of a sudden, hey, everything sounds clear one day. I can remember that, waking up one morning, hey, my A minor set finally sounds clear. So don't let it get you down. It's just work in progress. Keep working at it, and you'll see it all comes around. Just have patience. People don't have patience today. Everybody wants everything right away. Well, this you don't get right away. I don't know everything about guitar. I can't do every solo there is out there. Not a chance. But, you know, like Eric Clapton said once, guitar is like 2 lifetimes to learn it all. And it would be probably 45 hours a week. So you're doing your 10,000 hours. That's what most people are saying today, 10,000 hours to be a master at anything. Well, I think with this it could be even longer. But 10,000 hours, you'll be pretty darn good at playing if you're practicing properly and using the right methods. Don't waste your time, because it does take time to build the dexterity, and don't practice wrong, because then you're wasting time and then you have to go back and relearn. And I have people who come in and they hate it when they have to relearn, and I hate being the bearer of the bad news, but if you don't do things right, you constantly create these bad habits, and it's even harder to fix those bad habits. So don't do that to yourself, guys. You know, spend a little bit of money on your craft. I mean, I still am learning, and I go to private lessons. I've been doing it for 20 years. Because I know a guy who this is all he does all day and night. So I mean, he knows his guitar inside and out, and I'm doing great. I'm learning tons, and I'm enjoying my guitar, and I love it. And there's always something new for him to teach me, and so that keeps it fresh and interesting again. So again, back to A minor to D. D major, we always call, if we just say D or E or G, it technically means a major chord. If we say A minor, that's the only time we're going to use minors, when we're using minor chords, so people know it's a minor chord. A minor chord sounds sad, and an A major chord sounds happy. That's a difference, one note difference. But working this A minor to D, where we're like 1, now, hopefully you guys have worked that change. Maybe you've stopped the video. If you've got fingers 2 and 3 landing good, make sure you can bring 1 in with them now. Again, make sure they can land together. It's so important to make them land together. Don't try to make them do, you know, stepping into each other. It's so bad. I had one student who did that for 2 years, and he could never fix that. So I'll always remember that. Try to make sure that you're actually landing on your fingertips properly. There is a lesson on my YouTube channel too for beginners. You should have a footstool. I don't have one now because I don't need it anymore. But these are all things that we need when we first start, and then it helps you get learning guitar a lot quicker and enjoying it, instead of struggling for months trying to strum right and trying to get changes right and just doing whatever. Discipline practice will really help you. So again, if you've got all 3 of them landing together now, and don't rush it if you don't, because remember, when you go to sleep at night, your brain is still processing everything you've done through the day, and it's going through these changes, believe me. And when you wake up the next day, or maybe you try it 2 days later, you might find it's getting easier, just because now your muscle memory and your mind have kicked in, and they know what you want to do, so it becomes a little bit easier. So work it lots. We'll do some strumming together now, counting in 4s. I'll start on A minor. We'll start with our foot, nice slow count. And remember our strums for A minor, we're going to strum from the 5th string down. And a nice strum so we let it ring. Don't do things like... Right? We just want nice, quiet. You want to be louder. We got volumes and amps. We can turn it up. But for practice purposes, try to see how, you know, how lightly you can strum. Like 1, 2, 3, and tapping your foot and counting out loud. Foot's up, going down. 4, and again. 1. Can hear my E string or my G strings rattling off one of these frets. I need a setup. 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go to D and 1. And that's from the 4th string down. 2, 3. Tapping your foot, counting out loud with me, guys. 4. 4 more on D. Let's build that strength. 1, 2, 3. Getting ready for A again. 4 and A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Thinking about our chord change to D major. 3. Here we go. We're getting ready. 4 and 1. Now try to say and after 4 and then land your chord. Don't leave too early. Then you're cutting the beats off of the chord. 3, like if you do something like 4, now you just lost the whole rhythm of it. So make sure you go 4 and 1. Sometimes it's nice to just do that. 4 and 1. Over and over again. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. I know it's repetition and it's painful and you just want to play a song. I get it. I was there. But songs are chords, so just think you're working towards a song, no matter what song it is. Unfortunately, off the top of my head, I can't think of one that goes from A minor to D right off the bat. I can't think of one. But you know, Mary Jane by Tom Petty's like A minor to G and then a D back to A minor. Anyways, guys, I hope that kind of helps you get some more changes down. And today I'm going to do another video on A minor to G changes. So check that out too if you got through this one. And like I said, take your time every day, do 15-20 minutes, put it away. Within 2-3 months, you'll see, hey, I can change chords, move on to learning some songs, and we'll post lots of cool things for you guys to learn songs. All right, have a great day today, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.